Shame that tune!
Just gonna wait till the microphone's set and ready for that. Thanks, Ms. Buckingham. Thank you. Patrick Somerville, thank you so much for sharing what I'm sure is just a tiny fraction of your shame with us this evening.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. It felt really good, cathartic.
As artists, as writers, we have a hard road to hoe, don't we, Patrick Somerville? From cradle to grave and much in between. Drawn mustaches, menopause vitamins, fake tans. Is this the kind of shame that sent you reaching for the nearest pen and paper? Answer the question, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. This is it.
Yes.
Now, Patrick, speaking as someone who loves books, I love them. I consider them sacred documents. As a lover of books and literature, for me it is the writers of big ideas and large constructs who most set my heart and soul alight with a passion for living. For me it is writers who concern themselves with the big issues. War and peace, mice and men, green eggs and ham. Now, Patrick, I bring this up because it strikes me that the big concerns that you grapple with as a writer are issues on the order of what the New York Times thinks of your newest novel and engaging in an electronically mailed correspondence with one of the Times editors through the disguise of one of your fictional characters. Heady stuff. Heady stuff. The question I pose to you is this: in this era of Kindles and iPhones and iPads and iPods and the World Wide Web in the palm of your hand, is this what passes for the big ideas of literature circa 2012?
I read a lot of fantasy erotica when I was in middle school.
Sounds hot.
The Amber Enchantress, I remember. Her magic came from fauna.
Fauna. Shaft. Golden, yes. Did you guys hear about this? I don't know if you even know about it. Do you want to tell them about the story, what happened here? You've told it a million times, I know, but it's a funny story, though.
Well, my most recent book got savaged in the New York Times last month, and then they had to fact-check the review because they made all sorts of mistakes in the review. The reviewer misread the book in a lot of different ways, so then they issued a correction.
But then there was more to it than
Oh, in the course of the correction, the editors, I had set up an email account for one of the characters in the book. It's just sort of like a ploy. And the editor decided to email the character instead of me and ask the character about the events that occurred in the book instead of asking me whether or not I had written the book.
New York Times.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, it is funny, yeah. Okay.
It was no fantasy erotica.
No, that's hot. That's very hot. People are always asking me, and by always I mean rarely, Brian, what is your creative process as a writer? For me, it's wake up, void my bowels, air drum to the tune Spirit of Radio by the Canadian power trio Rush, karate chop the air twice or thrice, and then it's all about the prose until about 11:30 when it's off to Whole Foods for flaxseed and nutritional yeast. What is your process like, Patrick Somerville? Let me throw out some quick questions and you can answer yes or no.
Okay.
80s erotic literature.
Yes.
I thought so. Do you write in the morning?
No.
Do you listen to music when you write?
No.
Do you listen to Rush when you write?
Yes. Yes.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Lemon lime soda.
Occasionally.
Menopause vitamins.
Yes. Still.
Do you go for a word count each day or a scene?
Both.
Both. Lots of breaks, or do you plow through it?
Plow.
Do you enjoy the work of sitting on your ass all day and typing?
Yes.
Do you talk to other writers about what you're doing? Are you inclined to avoid most writers? Because let's face it, most writers, tote bags aside, they're not bringing much to the table, you know?
I hate writers.
Yeah, me too. Do you embrace the pages you've written at the end of each day?
Yes. Physically, yes. Exactly. Yes.
Hot. Okay. Well, tell everybody about you have a new book that just came out, I guess, in the spring.
Yeah.
A little bit about it, if you can.
Yeah, it's sort of a combination. It's a bit of a love story, and it's a bit of a coming home to the small town you grew up in kind of story. The main guy kind of blew his 20s and didn't accomplish much, and got into some drugs and some problems on the West Coast, and then comes home to Wisconsin to get his life back together. And he meets a girl while he's there.
Okay, and it's called This Bright River?
Yeah, This Bright River.
Yeah. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for sharing a small part of your shame with us.
Thanks, Brian.
Very good. And now your story of hormonal vitamins, run-on mustaches, and lotion.